What is up, Planeswalkers? Se.3 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena. And today we're going to be kind of hopping into the beginning of our rotation, even though our rotation isn't finished because we haven't done Obs on mid-range. Look, I have very few resources, and I wanted to use the rotation as what it's meant to do. The rotation is meant to essentially make it so I'm able to continue playing decks, specifically a known rotation of decks, and be able to ask you things about what you guys want to see from the channel going forward. They're essentially nice, like, little pauses to make sure I'm not, like, going off the rails and doing mindless nonsense. Now, today, I'm going to ask you, I recently looked at the Reddit thread on the MTGO, like, recent 5.0 lists, and there were a couple that caught my mind. There was one different control deck. Why is this? I had this in there. I don't know why they did that. One slightly different control deck that did end up using some, in my opinion, interesting stuff because it didn't run the disinformation campaign, so I thought this was interesting. There was a black-green mid-range list that was very much focused on the explore mechanic, and one, I was wondering if you guys wanted to see this specific deck. It also ran Izareth, which I thought was interesting. I'm seeing a lot of that on the 5.0 list, actually. But there is technically a decent blue-black budget explore deck, so I was wondering, do you guys want to see that? Let's see. And then there was just blue-red Drakes. This is pretty much just a Goblin Electromancer and then Drake deck. So it's very similar to the Goblin shoot man, the blue-black Jumpstart deck that I recently posted. However, it is technically different. And then there is, I made a mono white life gain deck. So I wasn't sure if those were like worth playing on the channel. So this style of video is essentially just me asking, do you want to see those things? Is there anything else that you guys do want to see? Feel free to let me know in the comments. But today we are going to play another game of Sultai Muldrotha. Now this is different. As you can see, I named it Muldrotha Dredge, because this one we are actively dumping stuff into our bin in order to take advantage of things like Find Finality and Izoni. Now we only added one Izoni because I'm still not entirely sure. Like, the amount of stuff that we dump into our yard means that we're going to be able to see our 2 and 1-ofs a little bit more frequently than we otherwise would. So I think maybe Izoni at 1 is fine. I also dropped a Vraska down because, as I said, we're going to be dumping things a ton, so we're going to be seeing things more. Find Finality is an incredibly strong card. It's being seen in pretty much every black-green based deck. The reason for this is you are able to just get so much incredible value in the mid-range as well as control matchups, and it isn't terrible against the aggro matchups, or the kind of lower-end mid-range matchups that are like aggro mid-range, because the Finality version does act as a decent enough board wipe, kind of. It obviously doesn't kill like very large creatures, but it does deal with the smaller critters about up to 4 mana. So this deck is mostly different in that we are running fewer Explorer creatures, and we are running the bin package that I described in my Zombies list as well as my Undergrowth budget list. And that's 4 Stitcher Supplier and 4 Glowspore Shaman. Other than that, the list is functionally the same. We did change a Gift of Paradise from the Elvish Rejuvenator. I found that the life gain and the guarantee of having the additional mana is better than getting another land. Additionally, there's a really interesting combo with Evolving Wilds, where if you do have access to Muldrotha and Evolving Wilds as well as a Gift of Paradise in the graveyard, what we can do is play the Evolving Wild for turn and then put the Gift of Paradise onto it. And then you'll be able to sacrifice it if you need more life, because it'll put the Gift of Paradise and the Evolving Wilds back in your yard, so you can keep playing them turn after turn. So obviously, that's going to be a very corner case situation. However, I did want to make sure you guys were aware of that, and it's something that in the previous format, the previous standard rotation, I took advantage of a decent amount. You could also do the same thing with Field of Ruin, but it's a little bit more contingent on your opponent having something where the Evolving Wild Gift of Paradise thing you can kind of just do. Now you might be wondering, why are you running Evolving Wilds other than that? Well, you know, we can also just have Muldrotha and get the lands that we need. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same. That's why the title of the video is going to be DeckTech kind of. Essentially, when you see DeckTech kinda, that means I'm not going over every individual card. I'm just going over either changes I've made, or I'm talking very briefly about the idea of a deck, maybe because it's super well known. Maybe if I'm playing just like a mono red burn deck where like there's no weirdness about it, I would just say, these are the burn spells. This is what I'm playing, you know. This is an okay hand. It's not great because we do have Field of Ruin. And Field of Ruin will sometimes mess you up like this. We are going second, which is, you know, it makes it better, but I do think that we can't keep this hand because we're not guaranteed to do anything past the Citrus Supplier. If this was a forest or really any green land, this is a really easy keep because we will be able to, we're almost certainly going to get value from the Glowspore, putting a land back on top, and then we could curve really well into Jadelight, but pretty sure we have to mulligan this, and this is fine. We don't do anything early, and we can go ahead and get rid of that. We're going up against Packrat, by the way. Alright, sure. Another land isn't what we wanted to see. We actually did take out Thought Eraser, so there's even less of a reliance on blue. However, the blue is, in my opinion, still great because Muldrotha is awesome, and it just allows us to get stupid amounts of advantage. It also means that during, you know, sideboard strategies, if you do end up playing this in best of 3, you will be able to have some good cards coming in from there. So this will mitigate our bad land draws by just throwing them in our hand. But we're just going to put both this on the library twice because that's something that we definitely want to draw. We have way more than enough mana here. Our opponent looks like they're on some sort of mono black, possibly mono black control, or maybe they're on rats. It's weird that they haven't done anything until now. So we're going to just play a... I'm actually going to... Playing Field of Ruin, I guess, doesn't technically do anything, so we'll go ahead and play this now. Chupacabra is not going to do anything, but luckily, this is one of the reasons that Jadelight Ranger is such a strong card right now, is it makes your opponent do something. It forces them to have some sort of response, because I'm just going to keep hitting them for 4 every turn. And they have 3 more turns of getting hit by Jadelight Ranger before they just die. I do assume my opponent has some sort of Vraska's Contempt here to get rid of my Underrealm Lich. My assumption is that they were planning on getting rid of Jadelight Ranger, but they're saving it. No matter what, if they point a destroy effect at Underrealm, I'm regenerating it every time. Right? This card is going to snowball me the game. Demon Lord Belzenlock. Interesting. I think that's just too little too late, though. My opponent is at this point on a 2-turn clock. Yep, my turn, that's fine. I am going to get my own Find Finality, I think. Yeah. It's just plenty of value here. And let's see. 3 mana for this, so I can... So what I'm going to do actually is... And you're probably going to want to do this a lot, just to make sure the auto-tapper doesn't mess you up. This way I have it on the correct things. But we're going to go and do that first, because we can. Play out the Chupacabra. Dome this out. Hit them. They can Finality me here, which is pretty... Or they can use Finality here. Oh, no, they don't have green! Alright, so my opponent actually doesn't have green for the Finality here. If they did, we would still be able to just get back in the game with Find, because of the amount of mana that we have access to. Okay, so they can Finality, and they essentially have to. Yeah. But we can just get right back into the game. Assassin Trophy is pretty whatever. Go ahead and Find. And we're going to get the 2 best cards. I don't believe I can play them both. I can't, so I'm going to play the card that survives more things. Although I realize that was dumb because I have a Plaguecrafter. That was my bad. I should have played Jadelight first. That was 1000% my bad. Because I knew about the Plaguecrafter. Yeah, so I assume they're going to go ahead and bin this for Plaguecrafter. This is interesting. I was thinking about making a mono black deck. Yeah, whoops. I whoopsed it. Yeah, that was absolutely my fault. But it's fine. My opponent's at 1 for what it's worth. Ooh, a Muldrotha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 2 more mana. So I could even put out a Supplier here. Yeah, I like that. Can play a Citrus Supplier, dump some more stuff in, potentially get even more. Oh, I can play a land first. Do I have a 3-drop in here? I don't have a 3-drop in here, so that's unfortunate. But I'm going to cast Supplier here. Helps me against another Plaguecrafter. I guess I technically should have played the land first, because our opponent might bin things. But, alright, cool. And we'll go ahead and play this. Might as well. I do assume that this might die. Nope. They kill my supplier. Bin more stuff. I assume they have another Plaguecrafters. That is my guess. Nope, Chupacabra, sure. Another find would be great. I think we're running... Oh no, I think we might only be running 2. 3 is probably the correct decision, but I mean our opponent, we're still at such a high life total. And we have Assassin's Trophy for this, so we're not really worried at all. Do I want Merfolk Branchwalker? I don't know. I don't think I do. I'll keep more removal. Our opponent is low enough that that I'm fine just forcing their hand and making it so they can't really do anything to me. Another Bells and Lock. Oh wait, they can't safely cast another Bells and Lock, so I'm fine with that. I'm trying to decide if I want to just take... So that's almost certainly showing that they have a kill spell for my Jadelight Ranger. Like there's no way they would make this attack. And because they made this attack, maybe they're thinking they have a blocker. So I'd rather take the damage and be able to get rid of a blocker and kill my opponent than just kill this and save 6 damage. Darn. We went from really high to really low really fast. I'm going to go ahead and kill this. I'll be able to Vraska's, I guess, this. But... yeah. If they didn't have, like, exactly this type of card to be able to get the mana... That's interesting. That makes me think maybe my opponent doesn't have another green source. But I do want to just draw the Contempt here. And... I will attack... Yeah, I will attack. Because I'm still at a safe life total. Because I know this is gone. And I'd be at 10, so this would take me down to 7. And I have like 2 turns, so I think this is a fine attack. Yep. Moment of Craving. That's interesting. And now we're both top decking. Except he is a creature. I'm going to blow up their land end of turn because it's going to technically thin my deck of 1 more basic. Sure, that's fine. Weird game. Weird targeting system. I wonder if they're running any basic forests. We're gonna get an island, because why not? Yep, they are. Supplier blocks. Let's see what's in our graveyard here. A lot of sweet stuff. A find would win us the game almost certainly. Not really a reason not to chump, I don't think. Resolve trigger. Oh, look at what we have here. Find. And the best ones to get are Muldrotha and... I'm not sure. Let's see. So this is 2 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll have 8 more mana. Except our opponent is going to... Our opponent has the ability to make us discard, I think we want the Jadelight Ranger. I think. I'm not entirely sure. But we can play the Muldrotha and play a land. We should have... Yeah, we should be able to just play a land, regardless. And we're going to go ahead and play the Woodland Cemetery. Then we will cast... Let's see. Is there a creature that we'd prefer to rather cast? So we're actually just going to cast the Jadelight Ranger from our graveyard. So our opponent can either take the Jadelight Ranger we have in our hand, or they can keep hitting us in the air for a little bit. And we're going to keep that on top, because we want to make sure we can just kill whatever. This is probably going to... Yep. That's fine. Because they're in top deck mode, and we still have a... okay, that was bad. I mean, this deck is like just removal. But that's why we kept the Assassin's Trophy on top, just to make sure we didn't die. Do I live this way? I block. I kill this. Oh, it's dangerous. But I think it's correct, because I can block, kill here, kill this. As long as my opponent doesn't have exactly more removal. Stop. Alright, well. Darn. Oh, man. I think we just made too many misplays there. Yeah. Yeah, the big one, I think, was when we played the Underrealm Lich before we played the Jadelight Ranger, knowing that they had Plaguecrafter. I should have went for the Jadelight Ranger, not only because that's a card we would rather sacrifice, but because we would also be able to set up our next draw. So, going up against Business Fish here. This is a great hand. No green, actually. Oh, we have Evolving Wilds, though. So we can Evolving Wilds on turn 2. For a green source, and then give to Paradise. Yeah, I think this is fine. We don't technically need to play Stitcher Supplier on turn 1. We don't have to play Stitcher Supplier on turn 1. I guess we don't have to. So I think it might be better to save life to do it this way and play Supplier on 2, Evolving Wild for a forest. Yeah, I think this is technically better. So I've said this in the past in previous videos, and I don't know if I've said it since an influx of people came in from the open beta, but when you lose, obviously, like, there are going to be times where you can't help it. It's going to really get to you. But you should try and focus on what mistakes you made in order to not make them in the future. Now, obviously, that sounds like super, like, it just sounds like a lame platitude, right? But if you don't make mistakes, it's a lot harder to learn, right? Mistakes are very salient. You're going to be able to feel them a lot more than if you're just trying to incrementally get better when you continually win, right? So you should utilize your losses and your mistakes to say, okay, what could I have done wrong? What did maybe I sequence incorrectly? Did I not consider them playing this Wrath, for example? I maybe put myself too heavy on the board, and I just, I wasn't able to. There's 2 cards that I would like. I wasn't able to benefit from the amount of value I had because they like 3-for-1'd me, right? So you really want to pay attention to those situations. I'm going to attack my opponent. My opponent's on blue-green, but they didn't do anything yet. I will just try and get the Paradise onto the swamp here. Okay, it resolves. Cool. I don't know what my opponent is playing. Blue-green something. I would have expected Merfolk, but usually I would expect Merfolk to have played something already. So, I mean, they're even called Business Fish. Okay, they're on Bant. Crap. This is like Turbo Fog, probably. No. Stop. I do have Assassin's Trophy, so this is going to be aimed at Planeswalkers. But the following turn, I suppose I will Jadelight Ranger first. Sure, that's fine. Yeah, so I Jadelight Ranger first, not tapping like that, because that's a stupid way to tap. And then if we draw a land, we can Merfolk Branchwalker as well. Cool. And we will absolutely keep that on top. And I have no problem doing this, because I need to apply pressure to my opponent. Yeah, that's fine. No attacks. We do not want to get rid of our find. We would like to get that find and get a Muldrotha. Wait, what? I'm sorry it took me so long to realize that they got a swamp. What the heck is going on? What is my opponent playing? What? Okay. I am very confused, but we will find out. Okay, Knight of Autumn, sure. I assume you're gonna make him bigger. Oh, you blew up my thing. That also makes sense. Also, screw you. Yeah, sure. What the heck is my opponent playing? Okay, so they're not playing. I guess I'm just gonna like attack. I kind of hope they kill the Branchwalker. Cool. Because now I can find the Branchwalker and Muldrotha. And I am fine with that. Boop and boop. I'm technically getting a slightly suboptimal card here with the Branchwalker, but the Branchwalker can alleviate mana woes since they blew up my land, and there we go. Sweet. So at the very least, I'll be able to play Underrealm Lich. I have no idea what my opponent's playing. I guess they're just playing like a pile of cards that they own. Because they don't have rares, or they haven't played any rare lands yet, and there's no way you play 4 colors with none of the rare lands. So... Teferi, sure. Excuse me. I went away from the mic, but may have been too little too late. What in the actual heck is my opponent doing? Okay, so they have counter magic up. I'm like... I can just Assassin's Trophy it. Is that the correct decision? I guess? Because I don't want them countering my Underrealm Lich. And doing 3 damage isn't enough, so I'm fine getting rid of this. Unfortunately, it does ramp them up to 6. And they can counter it. I have another trophy. That's fine. I had 2.
Time for plan B.
Yeah, plan B is go away and leave me alone. Opponent has 5 cards, 6 lands. I'm still at 5 lands. We'll need to get another land to have Muldrotha. And then once Muldrotha's out, we have a bunch of sweet, sweet fun stuff. Go and attack. And we'll play another Stitch Supplier because we are mad lads. Something I should notice, or should note, is when you're playing decks that mill yourself, or when you're playing against other milled strategies, I notice a lot of newer players will consider the cards in their graveyards cards that they lost. But you have to realize that any card that you have has the same amount of chance of ending up in your graveyard, right? So it's not necessarily that they... how do I phrase this properly? Losing a land to your opponent making you mill 2 doesn't technically matter. And I feel like that's a little hard to like explain, but... Right, so right there, right? I ended up playing Stitch Supplier. I need another land because I would like to hit Muldrotha. I milled 3 non-lands, but I couldn't have known that I wasn't going to hit a non-land, right, before I played it. And some people will be afraid of playing a Stitch Supplier or something that mills themselves in that scenario because they don't want to lose the ability to lose a land. So, interesting. Are you going to kill one of my guys? I guess you're just going to plus and sack a land? No, it looks like they're going to kill... That's almost certainly incorrect, because I will lose... look, I got a land. I will lose a Stitch Supplier and murder the heck out of Vraska, so... Goodbye. Now, I will say a part... I didn't expect that. A part of me doesn't want to play Muldrotha here because of removal. However, my opponent knows I have Muldrotha in hand. They are likely going to keep removal until I play Muldrotha. I'm just hoping that it is not exile-based removal. But we'll see. They do have 4 cards left. The Underrealm Lich really will need to put in a heavy amount of work. If we can untap with this Muldrotha, it doesn't look like we are going to untap. That's unfortunate. What the heck is our opponent playing? They're just playing value cards, I guess. I don't think it was correct to attack there, because we technically win that race. We're going to go and play the Lich. And we're going to attack. Alright. Our opponent is playing a black-green Planeswalker and a white-blue Planeswalker, and they've only played one dual land. I guess the district guides put in work, man. Yeah. Knight of Autumn, sure. That is not a removal spell. That's fine. I believe in the power of the Lich. Just gonna look at my hand. Okay, so we lost our other Eldest Reborn, so that is important to note. We are going to get a Glowspore Shaman. And we are going to play the Jadelight first. Yes, because do we want to land on top? We're probably never putting a... it's whatever. I could have thought about it longer. I didn't feel like it. I wanted to play more games. Play a larger number of games. Come on, what are you waiting for? Thank you, and graveyard, don't even remotely care. And let us bin more stuff into our yard. We're going to decline. We don't want to put a land on top. We want to draw gas. What did we put in there? We put in a Branchwalker and 2 land. That's good. I could just keep attacking with this Underrealm Lich. Although the thing is, right, because my opponent is playing like a ton of nonsense, I can't trust whatever, like they could be running Steal Away, right? The 1 and a white enchantment that exiles a tapped creature. They could be absolutely running Steal Away, in which case I don't want to attack my Underrealm Lich because I can't fight against that. So I guess I am going to pass and hope that my opponent doesn't have removal for Underrealm Lich. I'm able to continue to gain value off of the card, and I can use it to win the game since my opponent is playing 4-color wackiness. I can't wait to see a mountain. I really can't. I can't wait to see a mountain. Another Vraska? Sure. I'm totally fine suiciding these Sigil Supplier to kill that if she decides not to plus. Sure. Are you going to sack a land? Yeah, it looks like they're sacking that. Yep. That's something I might as well say. For those of you who aren't aware, you can pay attention to where your opponent's mouse is by looking at the highlight. Alright, my turn. I would like a Chupacabra, please. I would like to kill this, please. How does my opponent have... What, a better question isn't how. It's why does my opponent potentially have a response? I don't like that. We only have used 1 find, right? Yeah. I don't trust. I really don't. They could have settled the wreckage. Why is my opponent playing? Oh my god. And my opponent's gonna have settled the wreckage. I'm gonna be so mad. I'm throwing all of this over here. I can't wait for them to settle me. Okay, what are you doing? They have something that they can do. Yeah, here's the thing. I'm paying for life. Okay, so it's not settled. I guess they wanted me to just tap it. That makes sense. Oh, I can get a basic land even if it's not destroyed. Sweet. It's 1 fewer lands I have to deal with. I'm still throwing all of them in here. Even if they block, I don't care. I refuse to let you have value. I'm supposed to be the value guy. There we go. I assume they're going to block here. This is a weird bug. With this, just hey, I was right. The actual marker goes away, and that's so odd. So she's gonna go down to 1. Opponent's down to 2 cards. She can go up to 3, and sack a land, draw another card. What are you doing? Oh, sure. Of course you're playing Revitalize. What are you doing? So my opponent is literally just playing like all of the mythics and rares that they have, right? Like there's no reason to be playing this stuff together. It makes no sense. I have 25 cards left in my deck though. I assume you're gonna sack a land?
Going to die anyway.
Yeah, swamp. Sure. What do I want here? I guess Vraska's Contempt is probably the best. Sure. Contempt Tristani. Attack through. Murder her. I hate you so much. Alright, I'm still gonna murder the hell out of this. Let's see, this is all 3 blocked. I'm throwing these in here. I don't need them. I don't care. Put 6 more cards in my graveyard. If I lose this game, I'm losing it to self-mill, damn it. Cool. It dies. My opponent is playing the weirdest deck. And the fact that it's working is kind of sad. The thing is, this deck folds so hard to aggro. Like, any aggro strategy will just run this deck over. Yeah, War Leader, yeah, sure, that makes sense. They have no blue. We can kill stuff. That's an interesting decision. I guess that has lifelink, so sure. Guess we're taking another Lich. I'm like milling the hell out of myself. I'd appreciate if like I won soon. That'd be great. Yeah, gonna go ahead and pass the turn, I guess. I'm just like in shock. I'm shook, as the kids say. Oh man. Yeah, Revitalize, sure. I'm at 19 cards. I've only seen 1 Muldrotha and 1 Find. I need the rest. Gib, please. No, they didn't attack. Cool. Chupacabra? You gonna counter my creature? Stop! Thank you. What do I kill, though? I guess I kill Tristani. It's like the only thing that's making these, like, even remotely good. Thank you. I'd like to, like, kill my opponent. But I'm not confident enough to do so yet. We have 16 cards left. Oh, man. Stop. Stop. Stop it. Oh, yeah, sure. I have a second one, so I don't really care. And there's 1 more Contempt that's not going to get used on, like a Muldrotha. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, 1 card left in hand. What's the worst it could be? What? Are you kidding me? Why? This is like, this card would be so dead against like everything based upon what my opponent is doing. And yet, in this specific situation, somehow, it's going to ruin me. Hey, never mind, Vraska. Okay, I was almost really upset. Oh, I hate playing against these types of decks because of this. Because like you can't play around anything, right? Like I have to literally like think my opponent could have anything in their hand. Okay. That said, they're at such sure, that's whatever. I can kill that if I want. I would love to get a Muldrotha here. That'd be great. So I can start just getting seriously? Why? I could just keep getting an insane amount of value. I think I have to plus. I'm at 10? Fudge. I think my opponent knows that they just have to wait me out. The fact that my other... I'm not blind, right? The fact that my other Muldrotha is like at the bottom of my library is terrible. I cannot let these die at this point. This is 6. That would take me to like 1 turn. I literally cannot let these die. Yeah, ability on this deck. They're all going at me, interestingly enough. I might actually need to have Vraska. That's a lot of tokens. I might actually need to have Vraska minus 10. That's what? 7, 9, 11. That's 4 turns? I don't know if I can survive 4 turns. Let's see. Easy kill. Easy kill. Easy kill. Then I take 1, 2, 3, 4 damage? No, 5 damage? I guess I don't need that. I really can't let these die, and I think I might just get rid of Underrealm Lich. Because he's just taking too much of my life. This is ridiculous. This should not have happened. Where did I go wrong? Oh, I should have put the Chupacabra in front of one of these instead of the Glowspore Shaman. The Glowspore Shaman should have doubled up with another Chupacabra. Yeah, that was a slight misplay on my part. Hopefully it won't matter. This is frustrating. Let's see. Yeah, no, at this point I think I'm solidly on the win with Vraska plan. I need my opponent not to draw removal for Vraska. I need Vraska to get to 11, and then I'm going to kill my opponent. Don't you dare have removal. My opponent is like literally playing like all of the rares that they own. And it's working. I can't believe this. They're still not attacking Vraska. I'm just not comfortable going to 3 cards in my library. And yet they're on the actual bottom of my library. There's like actually no reason to attack here. Like I have to win with Vraska. This is so stupid. This is very typical of the Muldrotha games. Thank you. Finally. Like, do I even like bother playing it? I guess I'll do this first. Okay, it resolved. I'll play a land. And cast an enchantment. Oh, right. Do I even bother? What creature? Is there a creature that would be better here than just playing? No, I'm fairly certain that the correct answer is just Eldest Reborn. Oh, you know what? I could Gift to Paradise to not like die to something random. I don't even think Eldest Reborn. This is difficult. Oh, I think I can do both actually. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so if I tap right, I think I have to like target that. Cool. Oh, right, I can't do both because this only does one thing. That's fine. Everything's fine. We're also going to just kill stuff with a Chupacabra, I guess. Oh, please let me win this game. Again, there's not really a reason to attack. Either they have removal for Vraska or they don't. That first game, I do think I could have won against Mono Black. I do think I just made too many mistakes and got relatively bad draws. But this one, if I lose, there's no living it down. My opponent is playing one Temple Garden and a bunch of random rares. These have nothing like the Tristanis, Leona War Leaders. You could even throw like black in for Vraska, right? That's fine. That's understandable. All right. I can't wait. I can't wait for my opponent to just seal away me. So I'm not attacking with everyone. Because that would be like an actually terrible idea. Okay, good. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm sure my neighbors love the fact that I yelled when Patient Rebuilding came out, but that was stupid. I'm actually not going to buy another pack. I'm going to try... I realize I'm like low on resources because I just keep buying packs for the end of videos. I'm going to try and like grind the constructed events like off screen and not have no wild cards. So yeah. If you guys have any suggestions for what you would like to see based on either this stuff or something else that you would like to see, or if you want to make suggestions to the decks that I have for my rotation, those are Sultai, Muldrotha, Golgari Zombies. It could theoretically change colors, but for right now, Golgari Zombies, Grixis Control, and Abzan Midrange as soon as I get that deck like off the ground. If you have any suggestions for those, feel free to let me know. I'd like to thank Easy Mode, Dizzy Fam, Radberry, Daniel, Flowerchild, Chow OD3, and Zaraga for their support on Patreon. Their support allows me to continue making the content you guys enjoy. If you would like to join them in supporting the channel, go ahead and find that in the description below. You'll also find the Discord down there. Yeah, hope you guys liked this weird nonsense video. And if you did, go and tap that like button, add a subscription to Manapool, and cast a comment to the comment section down below. And until next time, all will be one.